I should preface this by saying that I am not a big-time contester, but I did participate in field day every summer when I was part of the Twin Cities Repeater Club, and I haven't hung out with those guys in quite a long time. Haven't been on the radio in quite a long time, but a little over a year ago I bought an HF radio, got back into the hobby. There's my radio. I got two tuners, but I'm using the top one for now. The bottom one is the one with the green screen is an automatic tuner, but for reasons that are difficult to describe, I've wanted to use a manual tuner because it allows me to do some other things. But anyway, there's my Morse code key, which I almost never use. Anyway, this is my software setup, and we're going to see how field day goes next week. I gave myself a couple of cheat sheets. I went through all the bands and got the best tune I could near the middle of the CW portion of the band. And I did that on one antenna and then on the other antenna. So I've got some clue where to start the settings on that tuner and then try to dial it in. Probably I'm not going to change bands a lot, but when I do, that will make it quicker to get things dialed in. Now, here's a little software tour. Here's a serial port splitter from Fabulatech. The radio actually is sitting on COM 3. But I have that split to two virtual COM ports, 5 and 6, which allows SDRuno, which is connected to an RSPlay DSP radio. I'll use this one to listen to. So I basically have two receivers. One of them's in the radio transceiver, but I also have a DSP that I'll be listening to. But in order to have this software running at the same time as N1MM is running, and both of them being able to do things to the radio or receive data from the radio, I needed a split. Now, I don't need to have that software running. This just is up to show you what got defined, but those just sit in the background, those extra serial ports. Here's a little bit of software. Let me see what that's called. That is called All Bands, All Modes. It's got to have a better name than that. Well, anyway, this thing will fill in the states. Every state that I've worked, it will change its color to, I chose green, so that I can, because there are multipliers for working a state that you have not yet worked. So that will allow me to keep an eye on what I would rather get when there's multiple things available. This part of the SDRuno software, the reason I wanted to have SDRuno software in the mix at all is it allows me to see multiple signals on the band and click on each one, and that changes the frequency. So there, that one's at 703.599, but then there's another signal here, really weak one. I can click on that and see that we've changed that to 705.343. We've changed that to 705.343, and N1MM knows that I've changed to 705.343. If I change modes on here, so if I change to, say, lower sideband, this thing automatically changes from CW to phone. Where's my mouse? There it is. There's my mouse. So it had been here, and it automatically changed to here because I had changed modes. Now I'm changing modes on the radio with this as well. That put it into CW mode. And if I click on phone, dink, that changed that to lower sideband mode. And SDRuno also changed to lower sideband mode. If I click up here to CW, the radio changed to CW. And N1MM, the logging software, also changed to CW. That's the reason for running that splitter, that COM port splitter software, is I have two different pieces of software that can command the radio and follow the radio. This little section in here is actually being launched by N1MM. It's using a portion of fldigi, and this is what will decode RIDI and PSK and CW. For example, I'll click on a CW signal that's going on right now, and you'll see it's actually decoding it. So that guy he put a little too much space between the N and the 9, but his call sign is N9WVM. And I could just click on that. Let's just click on the part that did show up, and it pops that into there, and it's prepared for me to work him. I just insert the N to fix the call sign. There we go. And now I could call him back with his call sign, my call sign. It would send it in CW just by clicking that button or hitting F1. So that's the crazy plan. And if I have to talk into a microphone, there's my microphone. I guess we'll see how that goes.